Hello, my name is Stacy Palmer, and I was hired last year at the Utah Virtual Academy to teach high school math. The Utah Virtual Academy is a online public charter school, and it has open enrollment. So that means that we get students from all across the state. If a student wants to attend our school, then they register and we schedule them for classes. Um, Many of the students that register for our school do so because they were not successful for whatever reason. There's lots of different reasons in a traditional brick and mortar school environment. And so they come to us as kind of a last resort to see if we can help them. Um, Many of them are credit deficient. Many of them have really low basic skills. Many of them have really hard life situations. Um, they may not have a lot of family support. They may be working during the day to support their families. We have had some students that are homeless. Um, we have had, many students that are pregnant. We have students that come to us because they have been bullied or because they have anxiety or depression, or there are a lot of different reasons that the kids come to us, and they come to us with many different learning needs. Our mission statement for the Utah Virtual Academy is that the Utah Virtual Academy will attain superior academic achievement through parent involvement, innovative teaching, and school accountability within a virtual environment that embraces individual learning needs. One of our value statements that I want to focus on is that at Virtual Academy, we provide an individualized education in a virtual world. After being a member of the math team for the past year, I have realized that what we are currently doing in our math department is not meeting our current student needs, and it does not align with our mission statement or this value statement. So because of this, I have decided to put together a strategic math plan. The plan I have created includes restructuring what we are doing as a math team and also reorganizing our math staff so that we can implement the new plan. Up until this point, when students register for our school, if they were a ninth grader, they were scheduled for Math 1, and if they were a 10th grader, they were scheduled for Math 2, and they could have also possibly been scheduled for Math 1 at the same time. Our counselors, even though they're really amazing, they in the past haven't really had a good understanding of the fact that if a student has not passed Math 1, then they are missing some knowledge and some math skill base that they need to be able to be successful in Math 2. And so because of this, we have been setting a lot of our students up to not be able to be very successful. It's really important that students first take Math 1 and then they take Math 2. I think it's also important to realize that with this particular population of students that um, we have some students that are going to graduate high school and they are going to go on to college. And we have some students who are going to graduate from high school and then they are going to go right into a career. College isn't really something that they are planning on for their future. And so when I was putting together this plan, I realized that in this plan, we need to address both of those needs. So I have decided that instead of having all of our students take a regular Math 1 course, which is what has been done in the past, or a regular Math 2 class, we need to figure out which of our students are on a college track and which of our students are on a career track. And then we need to have them take a math class that is going to be appropriate for that particular track. In order to make sure that we best meet students' needs and get them on the right track, there are 3 things that we are going to implement for next year. One of them is that we are going to send out a survey. As soon as they register for our school, they'll get this survey. And in the survey, it will ask them to decide if they are on a college track or if they are on a career track. So we will have that piece of data. We are also going to have them take an iReady assessment, which will give us a good indication of what their basic math skills are. So we have decided if they are on 6th grade level, 7th grade level, or an 8th grade level from the iReady results, that we will take a look at possibly putting them in a regular Math 1 class. If they are a 5th grade level or below, we are going to put them in a Math 1 class, but it will be more the career track class. So it'll be Math 1, but it will follow the Math 1 core, but it will be a basic version of that Math 1 course. So it will focus on the most important skills from Math 1. We're also going to collect data from the students that we have in our 8th grade moving to our 9th grade. We're going to collect data from their previous teachers about their engagement, their work ethic, the amount of support they have at home. And so before deciding on a track for these students, we're going to make sure that we do our research and we put them on the track that will best meet their needs. We want to make sure that when students come to us, they are able to get the credits that they need and to graduate from high school and then be able to start a career or be able to move on to college. As I was putting together this plan, I wanted to make sure that our objectives match up with our vision statement and our value statement that states that we will make sure that every student who attends our school has an opportunity for an individualized education. And with the way that we were scheduling our math classes previous to this new plan, we were just not meeting those needs. And so the objectives are that every student will complete at least 3 years of math. This is a state requirement. All students have to meet this requirement in order to graduate from high school. In their first year, they will take either Math 1, which is our college track, or Math 1 Essentials based on determined need. In their second year, they will take either Math 2 or Math 2 Essentials based on their determined need. And this is if they pass Math 1 or Math 1 Essentials in their first year. If they do not pass, they will take that course again until they do pass. We will no longer be scheduling students for more than one math class at a time, which is what has been happening previously. If students did not pass Math 1, then they were put in Math 2 and also Math 1 at the same time so that they could recover that credit. But that doesn't work because in order to be successful in Math 2, you need that skill and that knowledge base that you gain from Math 1. Their third year of math will be either Math 3 or practical math, depending on their after high school goals. So instead of offering ninth graders just one option of Math 1, which is what we have done in the past, in order to make sure that our students have an opportunity for an individualized learning experience. Our ninth graders will now have 3 different options of Math 1 courses to take. So after we have them take their iReady assessment and we get a good idea of what their basic math skills are, we collect the results from their survey if they want either the college path or the career path. And then we also collect as much data as we can from their 8th grade teachers about their engagement level and their parental support. We will schedule them for a course based on those needs. So a 9th grade student will either take Math 1 Honors if they're on the college track. They will take Math 1 if they're on the college track. And if they're a student who is on our career track, if they showed really low basic skills, or we find out that they had really low engagement, or they pick that career track, then they'll be in our Math Essentials course. So now there's going to be 3 different options of courses for them to take in 9th grade instead of just the one. And then from Math 1 Honors, once they successfully pass that class, they will move to Math 2 Honors, Math 3 Honors, and then during their senior year, they will have an opportunity to take either AP Calculus or Math 1030. If they start in the Math 1 course, they could go to Math 2 Honors. They could go to Math 2, or if we find that they are a student that really struggles with Math 1, we may opt to put them in the Math 2 Essentials class, which is just a more basic version of Math 2. If they do not pass Math 1, then we have the option of putting them in the Math 1 Essentials course for the next year. Students will not be allowed to move on to Math 2 until they have passed either Math 1 or Math 1 Essentials. If a student starts in our Math 1 Essentials course, once they pass that, they will go to Math 2 Essentials, and then their 3rd year of math will most likely be practical math. If a student is in Math 2, they have the option of going to Math 3 or practical math. And then for their 4th year, they can either go to the Math 1030 class, or they could possibly take the AP Calculus, but they probably won't have the skills that they need to be successful unless they have taken the Math 3 honors course. If a student goes from Math 1 to Math 1 Essentials, they then pass Math 1 Essentials, they will go to Math 2 Essentials, and then they will end up taking practical math for their 3rd year. So this map just gives us a good visual of the different options that we are now providing for students. Because this plan includes a couple of different math courses that have not been taught at our school before, this changes our staffing needs for next year. On the right, I have put together a list of our math team, and on the left, I have put together a list of our needs in order to implement this new plan. We have a couple of members of our math team that have a higher certification than others. So Jessica Price, Becky Kohler, and Natalie Roberts can teach any of our math classes. The rest of the teachers have either a level 2 or a level 3 certification, which does not allow them to teach Math 3. So we had to take that into consideration as we figured out who was going to teach what next year. We also added this new piece to what we are doing with having the kids take an iReady assessment. So we are going to need one of our staff members to take on the responsibility of getting each of our students to take this assessment and then analyzing the data to figure out where the best placement for them is. So in our last PLC, we got together and we talked about this new plan that I have put together. And I asked each of the teachers what they would prefer to teach for next year. I'm really excited about the option of the Math Essentials course. And so I volunteered to both develop and teach the Math 1 Essentials course. Natalie Roberts is going to continue as the Math 1 teacher. Summer Guyman is going to continue as the Math 2 teacher. And Natalie Roberts has offered to develop a Math 2 Essentials course and to also teach that course. Jessica Price is going to be the Math 3 teacher, and she will also be teaching the Practical Math course. And then that leaves us with one additional staff member. Because we are not sure what our numbers are for next year, instead of assigning Becky Kohler to a course, we are going to have her work on doing our iReady assessments and collecting that data. And then she is either going to co-teach the Math 1 Essentials course or else the Math 2 Essentials course, depending on the need, depending on how many students we end up getting in each of those courses. I have gotten approval from our administration to implement this plan for next year. One thing that could possibly affect this plan is if our numbers next year increase a lot from what they were this year. And then in that case, we will have to hire an additional staff member to help us meet those needs. With the implementation of this new plan, I think it is going to better match with our mission statement. We want to encourage parent involvement from the beginning. We want to make sure our parents are involved with the decision of which track our students are going to choose and to be on. We want to make sure that we share with them the iReady assessment data as well so that they can make a good plan. As far as the innovative teaching, instead of having just a Math 1 course, we're now going to have the Math 1 and the Math Essentials course, and we're going to be able to gear those courses towards the needs of our students, which is also going to allow us to embrace those individual learning needs. And I am really excited to implement this plan. Thank you, and please let me know if you have any other questions.